90s. Let's face it, we've got every song you know. Classic FM 97.3.
Time to take a look through the morning papers. The astonishing picture there on the front page.
For the latest news from the biggest names, tune in to Classic FM 97.3 weekdays at 7 a.m. for the front page news.
All the news and information making the headlines. This is the front page news on Classic FM 97.3.
Life is more beautiful when you allow yourself to appreciate the little things, the little things. Every day's more complete when you can enjoy the simple things, the simple things. A little more convenience can go a long, long way. You'll be amazed how much time you save when you leave the star 904 hash life. Star 904 hash. Oh yeah, upgrade to sharp, recharge like pam, 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 pam. Star 904 hash. Wherever you are to reload is easy like pam, 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 pam. Star 904 hash. Browse down star 904 star. The amount you want to recharge and hash. And with one single dial you recharge like pam, 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 pam.
Buy airtime instantly, directly from your bank account. Simply dial star 904 star, the amount of airtime you want, and hash. You're tuned in to the front page news on Classic FM 97.3.
Front page news and analysis on Classic FM 97.3 is what you're listening to. A beautiful morning to you once again. Remember, you can send your messages 33973 is our SMS portal, and also tweet us at Classic FM 973 with the hashtag FPN. Post it on our Facebook page as well, facebook.com/Classic FM 973. Good morning, Jimmy.
Good modulated morning. Okay.
Oh, you're still modulating.
Yes, still modulating.
Okay, from The Nation, the headline reads, Buhari to Nigerians, I will need your vote in future. Support for additional as AFDP's president confirms I belong to everybody. 20 Nigerian girls sold off. Budget 2018 at risk as OPEC mulls capping Nigeria's output at 1.8 barrels per day. Oshu Chinese firm signed 216 billion naira MOU. Southwest PDP may have consensus candidate. Eagles coach not scared of Germany, France. Polytechnic lecturers suspend 15-day strike. Ex-Foreign Minister Adeniji dies at 83. The Punch. Sec DG Gwazo suspended over corruption allegations. 2 senior officials also suspended. State your role in Maina Gate, ex-NBA president, CSOs tell president. Tax amnesty, federal government gets 33.6 billion naira from 2 firms. PDP chair aspirants nominate 48 for convention panel. Court remands Lagos banker for allegedly torturing wife to death. We'll move identified Nigerians back home, says Buhari, and that is regarding the Libya slave trade. That headline is from the Vanguard. Policeman pastor shot dead during shootout with kidnappers in Ondo. How we can work with Afeni Ferry. Twist in PDP chairmanship race. Federal government suspends SEC boss, 2 others. We start with this in detail. Buhari to Nigerians, I'll need your vote in future. President Muhammadu Buhari has hinted that he may run again. Buhari dropped the hint jokingly while interacting with the Nigerian community in Abidjan, Côte d'Ivoire, even though he did not say if he would run in 2019 when the next presidential election is due.
We have a Peter Obi in the studio. Right. Now, Buhari, this story says that President Buhari has hinted that he may run, and that he dropped the hint in Côte d'Ivoire. And whilst apologizing for keeping them waiting, he said he had to keep them waiting because he insisted that governors Udom, Akwa Ibom, and Mohammed Abubakar Bauchi who were present that he brought along with him. He insisted that they should be there when he's meeting them. And of course, Tinubu also went with him. What we are beginning to see now is a Buhari who is now trying to warm himself up to Nigerians again. He's been aloof, some by design and some by circumstance. When I say circumstance, I talk about his sickness and so on and so forth. But for the better part of the 3 years Buhari has been in charge of affairs in this country, he has distanced himself somewhat from the people, and he has also by, if you're going by the accusations that you hear, he has also distanced himself. He had also distanced himself from a lot of his political associates. Of course, that's what probably led to Atiku leaving and so on and so forth. And we're all aware about the rumors that also went round concerning Asiwaju Bola Tinubu. But on this visit, he took Tinubu along with him, and there's been so much fanfare made about Tinubu being with the president. You find that the photographs in the papers, you hardly ever see photographs of Buhari in his plane going on trips. But there were photographs in the papers. There's a photograph of him reading a copy of The Nation. All this as state manager. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Of him reading The Nation, Bola Tinubu sitting next to him, and all kinds of things are going on. And first of all, I'm asking myself, who is engineering all this and who stands to benefit? The Nation to had front page splash about Tinubu being with the president and so on and so forth. The question now is, it looks like Buhari is going to run for a second term. Now, you also remember that last week, I think, was it last week or the week before, Tinubu has started making advances to the Afenifere group again. But everybody is wondering, who is Tinubu going to support? A lot of us had thought that, okay, maybe Tinubu might want to support an Atiku presidency. You never know with these politicians. But now that Atiku has ended up in the PDP, we are now asking ourselves, who could Tinubu be thinking of, for 2019? Personally, I think from what we hear, he felt rather shortchanged. A lot of his nominees, shortchanged in this Buhari's first outing. A lot of his nominees couldn't get positions and so on. But then the rumor again went around that he was asking for too much. We don't know. I mean, these are rumors that are flying all over the place. All said and done, whilst Buhari is bracing himself up to offer himself to the Nigerian public again in 2019, we should be bracing ourselves up to make a very strong decision as to who should be at the helm of affairs of this country come 2019. We need to be on full alert. We need to be on full alert. Let us keep our minds clear. Let's keep our minds clear, and let us be very, very strategic in our thinking as a people. So that's where it is. We're getting a hint that, to be honest with you, I'd written Buhari off completely on health grounds. His recovery is a miracle. Even though, as we speak, we really don't know what happened to him, what really got him sick and so on and so forth.
Well, he's well.
The guy is well now.
All right, let's take a look at this. Peter Kwatawa says, Buhari is now playing the sentimental card. It goes beyond supporting additional. The masses just want results which they aren't getting. He says, I advise Buhari to just let go. You don't suddenly become the nice guy when elections are drawing.
Sorry.
You don't suddenly become the nice guy when elections are drawing near. That's playing on our own collective psyche. Okay. This says, state your role in minor gate. State your role in minor gate. Ex-NBA president CSOs tell president. Some civil society organization, as well as a former president of the Nigerian Bar Association, Mr. Olisa Agbakuba, on Wednesday asked President Muhammadu Buhari to state his role in the controversy surrounding the reinstatement of the chairman of the defunct Presidential Task Force on Pension Reforms, Mr. Abdul Rashid Maina.
Exactly. I agree completely with Olisa Agbakuba. Exactly. He has to state his own role. We will not let it blow away. We just will not let it blow away. I was, when I asked Femi Adesina about 2-3 weeks ago, he was parrying the question and so on and so forth. We let the president start by stating what exactly he knows and what exactly he did and didn't do. We need to know that. Listen, Agbakoba spoke to the Punch correspondent, on telephone, and then he urged the president to break his silence on the issue. He said that the minor issue had dented the president's image by his claims, wondering why a common suspect like the fugitive cannot be arrested by the EFCC unless somebody somewhere at the highest level of government is protecting him. Let me quote Agbakoba further. He says, "Only the president can break this conundrum. Otherwise, my personal belief is that right inside Aso Rock, there is some protection. If not, how can a man go in and out of Nigeria with such ease? How can Mena make allusions to the president asking him to meet with the Attorney General of the Federation? In fact, what has happened is that the president's image has been dented. Mena has dented the president's image by alluding to the fact that the president had contact with him and instructed the AGF to make a deal with him. What I expect is for the president to immediately clear the air on what is going on. I don't think Agbakoba could have put it better. We look forward to some kind of response from the president's media team or from the president himself. If for example, the president would submit himself to this what do they call it now? Presidential chat or what? Yeah, presidential chat. It will be probably one of the first questions that most people would tweet and ask that he answer. And then, knowing Buhari, he just might be forthcoming on it. Buhari has after the experience of Patience Jonathan and Jonathan in one or two cases, you sometimes see that it's the aides that try to cover up and build spins around things, and the characters themselves might just come clean. You just never know. But the president has distanced himself from the people. I can't remember the last time he had a presidential chat with Nigerian journalists, and by so doing, talk to the public.
Yeah, he was ill for a while, so maybe.
But he's well now. I mean, he's well. He's all over the place. I'm hoping that maybe first, second week in January, we might have a presidential chat. More so now that he wants to campaign. He's not going to sit in his house and campaign. He has to come and talk to us, answer questions, reply to some of our queries.
Undubisi says in well-organized nations, Minor would have been cooling off in detention. And he went on to say, let's forget all these political maneuvers. Total change needed come 2019. Yahya Ibrahim says, the president may mean that he's counting on our support for whoever he will support, because I don't think he can go another term. And this one says, if PMB wants to run again, then he should act it by carrying everyone along. He needs it right now. And that is coming from Fine Williams. Uluwakade says, PMB playing the humble card. I reckon Nigerians will critically review and elect the next president come 2019. National Convention, PDP in fresh crisis. The People's Democratic Party, PDP, appears to be heading for a fresh crisis ahead of the December 9 National Convention scheduled to hold in Abuja.
Nigeria is in a very big crisis. In all honesty, we're in a very, very big crisis because the party in power, they're not being impressive at all. And guess what? It doesn't look as if we're going to have a viable alternative, at least as at this morning. For the PDP to organize a convention and choose a chairman has become so much, up to the point that a member of the board of trustees, Chief Bode George, has told the current chairman, Madaki, I think that's his name, yes, has told him to resign. He's gotten up to that point. And what we have here in the Tribune is the various crises that, let me read some of the headlines here. It says, Unity list may tear PDP apart. And it says that in another development, the emergence of a list tagged Unity list will further polarize the people. They always have these various things that they will try to do to sidestep the normal process of picking a chairman. Shouldn't it just be a straight election? They say they have a Unity list. Also, they say they have a NEC that may approve waiver for Atiku. Now, I think when you join the party fresh, you need to have been there for about 2-3 years before you can get involved in certain things. Once they have a favored candidate, they say it's an issue of waiver. Why can't you follow the rules? These are the things that bring crisis into parties. You have other aspirants who are there, and they'll be saying to themselves, why are you giving somebody a waiver? You might as well give me a waiver on some other issues. And so that's going on. And then it says that some aspirants are calling for micro-zoning, and so on and so forth. I just think that they should get their act together. We do need an alternative, albeit in whatever form it comes out. But we need a viable alternative. We don't seem to be getting that at all. That is where a third party might come into play. The frustrated APC people, you might just have what you had in the APC. The frustrated APC people and the frustrated PDP people might just get together again and form another party.
There's a party, the Duke and...
the one we were talking about yesterday. We are not too sure whether they're going to be a political party. We are not too sure. We don't know that for sure that they'd end up being a political party. But so far they're a movement.
All right, okay. You start with the movement.
I think I need to drag one of them in here. I'll try and see if I can do that next week. Maybe Agbakoba. I'll try and drag him in next week.
It's all about modulating. You start with the movement.
Oh, Buki, come again.
Olabayo Elushaki says, can someone tell Mr. President Amumu don't do? He turned nice overnight, visit Southeast simply because election is around the corner. And Abbas Oladipo says, we have too many unresolved issues. The president is not doing anything about the involvement of his men in corruption cases. Only if we have a better opposition can we do away with this dilemma. Baba is too slow for a corrupt Nigeria. And Oyewole says, I think it's high time the president give audience to Minor. Minor has got a lot of secrets to reveal. But I doubt if PMB will want to grant him audience for the fear of publicly exposing.
You cannot run a country where a wanted man says he wants access to the president. Do you know what it is to be president of a country? His timing and so on and so forth. And it's not even right. A man is been declared wanted. He's a fugitive. How can he want to have audience with the president? A wanted man.
All right, we'll take a break and we'll be right back on Front Page News and Analysis.
Life is more beautiful when you allow yourself to appreciate the little things, the little things, Every day's more complete when you can enjoy, the simple things, the simple things, A little more convenience can go a long, long way. You'll be amazed how much time you save, when you leave the star 904 and life. Star 904 hash. Oh yeah, upgrade to sharp, recharge like pam 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 pam. Star 904 hash. Wherever you are to reload is easy like pam 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 pam. Star 904 hash. Browse down star 904 star. The amount you want to recharge and hash. And with one single dial you recharge like pam 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 pam.
Buy airtime instantly, directly from your bank account. Simply dial star 904 star. The amount of airtime you want and hash. Front Page News on Classic FM 97.3.
Front Page News and Analysis on Classic FM 97.3. It says here, this one says, Larry Akisha just says, Uncle JD, the PDP chairman is McCarthy and not Madaki.
Thank you very much.
And Deed says, PDP is not a reputable party. We need a formidable opposition so as to put PMB on his toes. The party is dead from the start. And somebody says here, Sharafa Baluk says, the president is not silent, but he's in a modulated state. Bumi Amosu says, at the very worst, the press in America have access to the Donald Trump. Here, PMB hasn't sat down with a major news medium for a full-length interview. This is just sad. Deepwater Osumi says, the best legacy Buhari can leave is quietly step aside in 2019. He should identify and promote a good candidate to be his successor. Age and health are not on his side, even as it is now.
I'm wondering, talking about the presidential chat, what has happened to the Nigerian Guild of Editors and NPAN? Can't they form some kind of movement to force this man out to come and talk to us? That's part of the responsibility of the press. Not just covering his activities, he's received this one in audience and that one is in audience. Let us make some move against him. And if for any reason he seems to want to decline that offer, then we can then say to him, sorry, we will not cover you unless you come talk to us. The NPAN and the Nigerian Guild of Editors should be a very strong movement in this thing, well-respected movement. But of course, I'm sure you have an idea of, no, you don't know. It has.
This one here by Amos says, PMB shouldn't think it's going to be a free ride in 2019. All right. Muyiwa Bayomi says, barring unforeseen circumstances, Buhari is cruising to victory come 2019. Mr. Buhari is definitely not Mr. Jonathan. I won't blame Nigerian. There's been expectations gap between the elite and the public. This is coming from Paul Alfie. The minor case might well be for the interest of the public. Metro News.
All right. Can I have the other one, please? Okay, the chair here. Thank you. Right. This is the Metro News, and let me start with the Punch. And the story here says, court remands Lagos banker for allegedly torturing wife to death. Okay? And then gunmen kill pastor, policeman, and abduct 3 in Ondo. Police kill robbers in Kaduna and recover 413 cows. Physically challenged woman kills own baby with hot water. Oh my God. There was confusion on Owovo Street in Ughelli after a physically challenged woman allegedly killed her own baby hours after delivery. Why didn't she just give her up for adoption? Oh. And look at she's, even physically, she's not in any good state. Only God knows who did this. Okay, Lagos youth renounce cultism, but celebrate with hemp smoking. All right, pregnant woman, 5 others die in Ogun crash. And what do we have here? Code Lagos, the government seeks private sector's help. The Lagos state government has urged the private sector to support the move to make coding education accessible to people, to Lagosians. Right. Then we have here in the Vanguard, we do have a bit of news here, and this one says, policeman pastor killed in shootout with Ondo kidnappers. And they also talk about the physically challenged woman who killed her baby, or allegedly killed her baby. Truck drivers are arraigned over 50 million worth of goods. 4 killed as arsonists wreak havoc on Delta community. And this will interest my Ikorodu people. 120 renounce cultism in Ikorodu and surrender weapons. Pregnant woman, others die in Ogun Road accident. Troops capture Boko Haram commander, killed for rescue 212 hostages. And Governor Otom says that he's supporting the second term of Buhari. Professor Itse Sage, who is the chairman Presidential Advisory Committee Against Corruption, has described the request by Meina to meet with President Muhammadu Buhari as ridiculous and out of the question. So I'm sure he'll be advising the president there should be nothing like that. 437 foreign medical students failed Medical Dental Council of Nigeria exam. So that's the news for today.
All right. Buhari, even thinking of 2019, just shows that we have fundamental issues with our political elites and says more about citizenry. So have a continuation of Audu Ogbe and Dalong Remy Martins. That is coming from Remy Martins, I beg your pardon. If PMB has conscience, he should do a self-evaluation of his administration for his first term in office and decide if he's worthy of another tenure. And this one says, fugitive agreed, but MOJ met with him in Dubai and PMB approved his comeback. Uncle Jimi, you said PMB shouldn't meet with him. Who is fooling who then? Somebody should tell me this is a failed state.
Look, the president cannot meet with a wanted man. I don't know why we want to split hairs on this issue. Under this circumstance, you don't expect the president to sit down with a wanted man. He has to go through the judicial process. Let's be very clear about this.
Abbas Oladipo says that woman might be suffering from postpartum depression, but here in Nigeria, we don't believe such. People will lynch that woman.
Okay, that's the woman. Yes,
taking her to a psychiatric home for examination.
Well, apart from that, if you look at her physical state, maybe with further questioning, most likely, you're probably looking at a case of rape. If you look at her physical state, because there's, it is almost clear that maybe she took advantage of her, yes, and did it for ritual purposes. Who knows? So rather than completely, what's the word now?
She needs help anyway.
Yeah, she does need help. I think we should take a more sympathetic look at her condition and find out what exactly has gone on.
Folanri Oloyede says corruption is driving a Ferrari while PMB is on Okada chasing it. NHS calls for ban on Coca-Cola's Christmas truck. The NHS Public Health Boss is urging local councils and shopping centres to ban visit from Coca-Cola's promotional Christmas trucks because of sugar's key role in rotting children's teeth and making them fat.
Well, this is a story, is a foreign international business story, and it says that the head of the NHS in the UK has called for a ban on Coca-Cola Christmas truck. They have this truck that comes in with loads of soft drinks, and he talks about sugar's key role in rotting children's teeth and making them fat. Now, how does it concern us? It concerns us because I think that this is an opportunity for us again to ask questions about the level of sugar in the soft drinks that we consume. That issue, had always been popping up, and I think it needs to be answered. The level of sugar that we have, it's an issue worldwide. It's an issue worldwide, and Nigeria would be no exception. Now listen to what it says that the UK Guardian reported that Duncan Selby, the chief executive of Public Health England, has criticized the soft drinks annual PR stunt in which 14-ton lorries decorated with fairy lights and fake snow visits towns, cities and landmarks around the UK to advertise its products. And it says that his comments come as PHE research found that most of the places the trucks plan to visit before Christmas have above average rates of children with tooth decay or obesity. Okay, and so we need to, I think, right here, listen to what this gentleman says. He says, big name brands touring the country at Christmas to advertise their most sugary products to children and boost sales does nothing to help families make healthy choices and wider efforts to combat childhood obesity and rotten teeth. Local authorities celebrating sugary drinks in this way need to reflect on whether it's in the best interest of the health of local children and families. Okay, so I think we also need to have a rethink. It's not as if these soft drinks are not good. No, that's not the issue. I'm not saying that. But we also need to reflect on the sugar level, that we have in our soft drinks.
And kids are consuming a lot.
And kids are consuming, they're whacking soft drinks like...
Growing up back in the day, I think it was only Sundays, and not just every Sunday that we even used to have it, and you will share a bottle with your younger ones. You never had access to a bottle.
But we had orange squash then too.
Oh, that's true.
And after your mom has served you what she considers a safe quantity, behind her back you run to the fridge and top it up.
And parents are allowing their children to consume a lot nowadays. So
but you need to watch. I usually tell parents, try and keep them off soft drinks and keep them up all these fast food pies and sausage rolls and things like that.
Okay.
Try and keep your kids.
She says those trucks could find their way to our country. What is condemned in Europe is always good and
the trucks are not coming here. Come on. The trucks are not coming here. I think we have to go, Vicky.
Okay.
Yes.
And that's it. Thanks for being a part of Front Page News.
Thank you very much. The weekend's today. Tomorrow is a public holiday.
There's Friday is still another day.
I'm celebrating.
Friday is still another day.
It's still another day. Mm-hmm. Okay, Mommy Buki.
Yes. Okay, Sports Express is right after.
Life is more beautiful when you allow yourself to appreciate the little things. The little things. Every day's more complete when you can enjoy the simple things. The simple things. A little more convenience and go a long, long way. You'll be amazed how much time you save when you leave the star 904 hash life. Star 904 hash. Oh yeah, upgrade to sharp, recharge like pam, 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 pam. Star 904 hash. Wherever you are to reload is easy like pam, 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 pam. Star 904 hash. Browse down star 904 star. The amount you want to recharge and hash. And with one single dial you recharge like pam, 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 pam.
Buy airtime instantly, directly from your bank account. Simply dial star 904 star, the amount of airtime you want, and hash.